There was one more piece of this that we found interesting. Charlamagne Tha God always has interesting political
Yeah.
commentary.
Sometimes cringe, sometimes great.
Goes against the grain
Yeah.
oftentimes. And he had some comments about, there's an assumption, I guess, in this ordering of states from the DNC and the Biden campaign that black voters are going to continue to be just a rock solid demographic for Joe Biden. And, first he said, you might want to, he's sort of saying you might want to rethink that. He says, personally, damn near everything they promised black people, I haven't seen come to fruition. I still think they could have gone way further on the marijuana thing. Hey, it's cool to pardon everybody that's in prison on a federal level for simple possession, but indicating they could have done a lot more. And he went on to express that he is not too impressed with Joe Biden and is apparently even less impressed with Kamala Harris, but continues to think Biden is the best bet the Democrats have. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
Sad that you're talking about a potential rematch with an individual who's facing multiple federal and local investigations, a person who they say inspired an attempted coup in this country on January 6th, a person who tried to basically change still change the results of an election, like just wouldn't acknowledge the results of an election. I feel like there has to be some type of qualifications for president. I think when you're facing, that much, I don't even think you should be qualified to run. And so it's sad that we're saying, it's still a toss-up between him, President Biden. I think that's more indicative of what, Democrats aren't doing. And for me, I don't see the bench that the Democrats have. Like, I personally don't see the person that they could put up in 2024 that could really galvanize and energize people. I mean, the fact that Biden is still their safest bet, I think that's sad too.
So he's not too impressed.
No, not at all. I mean, look, again, with Charlamagne, he both was a fan of Kamala Harris, but then he also did rightfully critique her whenever she tried to skip out on his interview. I've always appreciated him. What was it, P. Diddy, in the previous 2020 when he came out and he was like, we're not just going to, the black vote isn't monolithic. Like, we're not just going to show up on Biden. As it relates to South Carolina and to more, I'm just not so sure. I mean, I would wish that Charlamagne's view were the mainstream. That said, look how they voted for Biden in 2020 on the word of Jim Clyburn endorsed him. It was like Clyburn's word alone was enough for a major landslide victory for Biden, enough to clinch the nomination, especially going into Super Tuesday.
Yeah, he also made some comments about, he was asked again, this is a Fox News digital interview, by the way, it was asked again about Biden's famous "you ain't black" comment. And he said basically that he had said the quiet part out loud. Whether he said it in jest or not, I'm sure that's how a large part of the Democratic Party feels. They feel like, hey, black men, black women, they're our most loyal voting bloc, and they show up for us no matter what. So some pointed critiques there of Charlamagne. I mean, listen, I think anytime you take voters for granted and just assume that they're going to have your back without ultimately delivering for them, I think ultimately there's going to be a price to pay.
Yeah.
And I do think Democrats are seeing that with working class voters, black and brown voters in particular. The place where Republicans have actually gained the most ground across the country are in cities with black and brown working class voters. I don't think that it's because Republicans have been so awesome. I think it's because Democrats have routinely failed these groups and working class in general. So bit of a warning there. I agree with you. In the short term, probably South Carolina will continue to be a solid place for establishment candidates. But bigger picture, it is just so brazen how the Democratic Party is trying to shore up the wall, make sure Biden has a glide path to the nomination, make sure that they can even lay out the path for their next terrible, lackluster candidate, Kamala Harris, and continue their sort of status quo dominance in perpetuity.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us. And if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.